During the 1960s, there was a huge boom in the marijuana market. 90% of this spike was originated in Mexico. Consequently, drug smuggling from Mexico to the United States became a very lucrative operation, as the United States is the biggest consumer of marijuana. News made its way to President Nixon that marijuana was flooding into the United States from Mexico's border in large quantities. He then decided to start the war on drugs in 1971. Nixon stated that the war on drugs was public enemy number one. This ruled his domestic policy over his term as he signed into law several acts to stop the rapid drug spread in America. The president signed the Controlled Substance Act in 1970. This act regulated a large number of drugs and substances. The act was broken up into five major drug categories. The first included LSD, marijuana, ecstasy, and heroin. These were considered the most dangerous to the consumer with little evidence of any medical benefit. This initiated the war on drugs. Nixon created the Special Action Office for Drug Abuse Prevention. He also increased funding for the federal government to fight against the drug abuse. During his term, Nixon was very supportive in increasing the penalty of drug abuse by highly criminalizing it. He began giving out large prison sentences to people with very little drugs on them. Many viewed this strategy as extreme, as it seemed to be targeted at minorities and impoverished communities. After all the government's efforts and wasted tax dollars, the war on drugs did not help the drug abusers. Nixon's large drug campaign, despite its efforts, had not done what he thought it would by minimizing drug trade or lowering the limit of overdoses worldwide. Sadly, some 50 years later, we are still trying to clean up from this war. The war on drugs is a good reminder of how much damage bad government policies can have. This was a rippling effect that still could be the cause of poverty and underdevelopment in our neighborhoods, knocking minorities off their feet by the millions of jail sentences enforced in the name of the drug war. Billions of tax dollars spent fighting the war would have had a much larger impact if it was used on government-sponsored programs with the purpose of educating and providing for the abusers and the victims of drug abuse.